today we've got someone brand new in the studio.
I'm still shiny.
He is Tommy Emmanuel, and Tommy's new project is called Center Stage, and we have a direct link to it if you go to bobandtom.com. Tommy, you were just voted the world's best acoustic guitar player.
Well, it was the Reader's Choice Awards, I believe.
Oh, well, gee, what do they know? That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, what do they have?
By Guitar Player Magazine.
What do they have, 2 or 3 readers? Come on,
Come on. At least half a dozen.
So the reason we wanted Tommy here is we've been watching on YouTube these videos of Tommy playing, and we're convinced that there are 3 guys backstage.
Nope.
Keep it down back there.
Oh, Tommy.
We think that there are other people backstage playing, and that he's just doing some of the parts.
Oh.
How old are you when you got your first guitar?
I was 4 years old.
Were you really? Okay.
Yes, I was.
And this is in Australia.
Well, I was a big baby. I drove home from the hospital, you know. Anyway.
That's huge.
Now, in Australia, are the strings in the guitar strung the other
way up?
Yes, they are, chick.
That's my life.
It's Australian rules guitar.
That's right.
First you beat someone with it.
That's right.
And then you tie your testicles up by your neck, and then you play the guitar.
If you're out of tune, they kill you.
Right. That's how we get that sound.
That's right. Yeah.
It's great to meet you, and great to see you. Thanks for getting up early and coming in. Tommy is on a tour, playing guitar all over the country. We'll touch on some of those spots in just a few minutes. Now, let me ask you this: when you were coming up, were you in bands as a kid?
Yeah, I've been in bands all my life. I've played all different kinds of music.
We always like to ask musicians of your stature, what was the name of your first band?
The Emmanuel Quartet.
See, now that's the first.
Even named after you. That's big.
Yes.
That means you're good.
There were 4 of us, and we were all from the Emmanuel family, so I guess that was the first name. The second name was one of my dad's stroke of genius, though. Do you remember when that song Wipeout came out?
Sure.
The Safari?
The Safari. We were called the Midget Safaris because we were little. So,
Midget?
The Midget Safari.
You know, I didn't think it was possible to like him more than I did.
Are there any Midget Safari records out there?
Yes, but well, they're not available. Most of them have been made into ashtrays and pot plants. So
the Midget Safari.
See, that would be politically incorrect now.
It would be.
Isn't there vertically challenged safaris?
The vertically challenged, exactly.
Isn't there a Midget Kiss?
Yes. Mini Kiss.
Mini Kiss, yeah.
They're called Mini Kiss.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Okay.
Midget Kiss would be stupid.
Yeah. Now, so you're a man. You're a man of about my age. So I'm guessing when you came up, it was the Beatles era.
Yeah,
so did you have a band with a? Did you ever do like a psychedelic post Beatles band? Were you in never a psychedelic band name?
Psychedelic band name. Well, would you call the Trailblazers psychedelic?
No,
okay.
I would. No, that would be.
No, Tom, you want to share?
Well, I mean, obviously, and back in my day, my first high school band, we were called.
Oh boy!
Here we go.
We were called The Other Kind.
The Other Kind. I like that.
I mean, it sounds like wow, not that kind, but the other.
The other kind.
The other.
Because
What?
why were you called
right.
the other kind?
Well, because Dino, Desi, and Billy had the hit song "The Lovin' Kind."
Right.
And
that one.
We're
Hey.
the whooping kind.
Because when you think of psychedelic, you think of Dino, Desi,
Oh
and
yeah,
Billy.
they rocked it.
Now, no cool band names at all. Now, I'll tell you something. Shiloh again, kind of a Western feel.
That must have been when you were young.
Yes, yeah.
Shiloh.
Back when I had hair and
I
teeth.
was young.
So.
No, we had. Let's see. Alex Van Halen was saying that the first band that they had with Eddie Van Halen and Alec, their first band was called the Sounds of Las Vegas.
Yes.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
Sounds of Las Vegas. Well, there you go.
You could have been the Sounds of Perth.
Perth. Which would be...
Well, Tommy Emmanuel is our guest. I guess, why don't we let him do his thing here?
What a grand idea.
I'm just so excited to be able to talk to you and visit with you, because I've just been watching you on YouTube, which I think is a way a lot of people are discovering...
you need to get a life, Tom.
Yeah. Well,
Boy, we've been telling them that for a long time, Tommy.
How many series?
I have friends that we exchange videos. This is how boring my life is. The highlight of my weekend actually was let's see. We had done an interview last week with the guys from Mudcrutch, which is a sort of offshoot of Tom Petty, and we were talking with his guitarist, Mike Campbell, and he was talking about this new project they did, and he has this bee-bender thing that was made famous by Clarence White and the Byrds.
Yeah, and then Albert Lee.
And then we found out that that guitar was still around. So the highlight of my weekend was seeing a video taped at a bluegrass festival of Clarence White and the Byrds playing with that original guitar, and that guitar is still out there in the hands of a famous country singer. But, but I loved, that's the cool thing about YouTube, is you can throw these videos around, you can see great guitarists, and you can watch guys like Jeff Beck and guys like you. That's how I found you. My guitar-playing friends would say, have you seen this guy? Right. And I'd go back, he's not playing all those notes.
But he is.
But it's.
I think we need to have him prove
it. Yeah, play something for us.
All right.
Tommy Emmanuel's our guest. We've got a link to his new album.
He can do that. All right.
See, usually that's Tommy Emmanuel, by the way, on the acoustic guitar. Usually on this show we have a lot of comedians come in that play the guitar. And this is the time where we take a break and I say, could you have Dean tune that?
Thank you.
Well, that's cool.
Dean tune that.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Thank you. Those Beatles tunes are so beautifully written, aren't they?
Sure. Such great melodies.
Yeah, I just got a copy of that Beatles album with all the number ones on it, and gave it to my youngest daughter for her birthday, and she totally discovered the Beatles like 2 weekends ago. So.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
You know, one of the oddities happening right now, I don't know if you're probably aware of the band, of the video game called Guitar Hero.
Yeah, well, I've never seen it, but people keep talking about it.
And there's a new version of it called Rock Band, and they're these sort of fake plastic guitars.
Drums, the whole thing.
What's happening is in the world of music, bands that when the games first came out, it was cover versions of the songs. It wasn't the original band's versions. Well, now that bands are finding, hey, wait a minute, this video game just sold 500 more, 1,000 more copies than our last album.
Right.
So they're putting the original songs on there.
Wow.
And although it doesn't necessarily teach guitar playing, it's getting people interested in classic, great songs from way back.
Something happened to me in the Netherlands last year. I was playing a show, and there was a young boy about 15. He was on work experience backstage, and his whole job was to keep an eye on things and to tell me 5 minutes, 5 minutes before you go on stage. So I played 2 sets that night, and during the first set, I played Day Trip to Lady Madonna like I did just then. And when I came off, he said, "You played music from Nintendo." And I said, no, I didn't.
No.
He said, "Yes, you did." I said, "No, I didn't." He said, "Yeah, da 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 da." I said, "That's the Beatles." He said, "No, it's not. It's Nintendo." He never heard of the Beatles, but he knew it was Nintendo.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was strange for me, you know.
I'll bet.
Wow. Our guest is one of the finest guitar players in the world, Tommy Emmanuel. He's going to hang out with us for a while this morning. I'll remind you that we have a link to his website if you go to bobandtom.com. And a pretty cool picture of you, by the way.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This photograph we have, looks like you've got a big pompadour. It's really awesome.
A big pompadour.
Yeah, it's good. Listen, you got a good head of hair. Don't you go complaining about that. Tommy, originally from Australia, now residing in Nashville. And we are hoping to hear some more music from Tommy this morning. We do have a link, by the way, to YouTube link so you can see some of Tommy's stuff. You just click right on it if you go to our website. We're going to take a break. When we come back, as a complete change of pace, we're going to bring Bob Zaney in for the Zaney Report. Then we'll bring Tommy back. So stick around. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, it's Laura Steele. Thanks for listening to the Bob and Tom Show.
Tommy Emmanuel. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show, coast to coast.
Hello.
And with us in the studio, we have a guy who was voted the best acoustic guitar player in the world in this month's Guitar Player magazine. Congratulations, Tommy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And all those people out there in Radioland, thank you for voting for me.
Your guitar is road worn.
People think it's from the 40s or something. It's actually from 2004.
Really? You played
You wear them
what
out.
brand?
It's called a Maton, M-A-T-O-N, made in Australia. And this one's fairly worn down, the actual face of it. You see, I don't really care what it looks like because this guitar...
It's all about the sound.
It's all about entertaining people and giving them a good time. And I don't really give a damn what this guitar looks like, as long as it plays well and sounds good. And I play it with a brush. I do like a drum solo on the guitar. And I also do stuff
probably
like...
not recommended for a lot of guitars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I've also marked the face up in such a way that I can make a sound with it like that, and then play the.
So when you buy a guitar, the first thing you do is deface it.
Yeah.
But listen to this. See? It's like he's got a little drummer
Roll
there.
on, buddies. I can sing and play. Don't you roll so slow? How can I roll when the wheels won't go?
You're not from this planet, are you?
Oh no!
No, he's not. He's from Australia. You already said that.
But see, that's a great example of thinking, quote unquote, outside the box.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah.
That's
So you're a one-man band without the cymbals on your knees.
That's the one. If you saw my knees, you'd know why. Wouldn't want to know why.
Amazing.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that I do in my show that just kind of evolved out of madness on stage.
Yeah.
Sometimes, when I started banging on my guitar and making it like a drum, it happened one night. My brother and I were playing a show. My brother's a great guitar player from Australia as well, and he plays electric guitar, and I was playing an acoustic plugged into the PA, and we were in the middle of a Santana tune, and it was reaching the crescendo part, and we were really going for it, and he broke 2 strings on this guitar, and the guitar went all out of tune, and he just says to me, "Take it," and walks off stage. And I'm like, "Take what?" So
that's a brother for you.
Take 2 and see me in the morning.
Was was your brother one of the founding members of the Midget Safaris?
He was the lead guitarist. There's some people who showed me a thing there. They kept some of our autographs from about 1962, and there was this very neat writing. Phil Emmanuel, lead guitarist, Midget Safaris. And mine was Tom Emmanuel, rhythm player. Like that. So
when he stranded you on stage, you just came up with a drum solo on your guitar?
I just started banging away on the guitar, and I thought, oh, that sounds okay. So I started to make drum patterns because I can play drums as well, and that's how that kind of thing happened. And then, just trying different ideas. This guitar has a mic inside it, so when I plug it in, the whole guitar becomes alive in your hand.
Sure. And
so I can make other sounds. I can make a drum noise, congas, bongos, brushes, all sorts of sounds. So
that's the voice of Tommy Emmanuel. He is recently voted the best acoustic guitar player in the world. He's our guest.
So a guitar will last how long for you before you have to?
They'll last forever, but
won't you wear a hole in it and you can't do the drum sound anymore?
Then he gives it to Willie Nelson.
So that's how it happens.
And he takes it on the road again. About every 6 years,
wow.
I get a brand new one. But they're really well made. You can play cricket with these guitars. They're really well made.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
you're on the road, and last year I understand you did 340
dates. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on this year too.
I guess.
And I know that your stops include on the 21st, Louisville, Kentucky, at the Brown Theater. We just did a sold-out show there with the Bob and Tom Comedy. Also,
congratulations!
Beautiful theater.
We left some stuff backstage.
Thanks. I'll be looking for it. Don't worry.
Other stops include Charlottesville and Newport News, Virginia. You're heading to New York City. You're going to Pennsylvania. All kinds of stops. We've got a direct link. If you go to our website, you can find out Tommy's touring schedule. And you feel like playing another tune for us?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you have in mind?
I was thinking of playing something from Kentucky, seeing as I'm heading to Kentucky.
All right.
Shall I play a little bit of... here's a song of mine called The Game Show Rag, and then I will go into Merle Travis's Cannonball Rag.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Count me in.
Tommy Emmanuel.
I was sight reading all that.
Yeah, from where?
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Tommy Emmanuel on the guitar.
How many songs do you know?
A few.
Okay.
Now,
fair enough.
When you're by yourself, I guess it probably depends on the mood. When you're by yourself, maybe doing some practicing, or we just want to. Is there a song you tend to gravitate to that?
Absolutely.
That you
Will I
like
play
to play
a little bit of it for you?
Oh, yeah, sure. I do.
Have you ever heard of Django Reinhardt?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, when people say to me, "Who's the greatest guitar player of all time?" It has to be Django. But this is let me just play a little bit of one of his songs.
Sure. Oh, yeah, great.
Oh, that sucked.
Yeah.
Wow. Man.
Well, that sucked. Tommy, that's what you get for coming on this
nothing
show.
Like Reinhardt. Come on.
Tommy Emmanuel is our guest.
Oh, my God.
And, wow.
That's just unbelievable.
I was just looking over some stuff. It says, on the internet, I read this article. It says, people often weep when meeting Tommy after a show.
I can understand why.
I mean, that is
Probably musicians.
Look what he did to that guitar.
That's right. The guitar builders.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention. Room
phone call.
Send me up a room.
Bob and Tom Show.
Hi, man, it's Donnie Baker.
Hey, Donnie.
So people weep after they see you, Emmanuel?
That's right. That's what I hear.
My mom Phyllis is the same way. First time she seen Ted Nugent. You're pretty good. I mean, I still think that one kid from the Foo Fighters is a little bit better. I mean, you make a guitar sound like a drum, but you ain't no Sean Morey. He can make a banjo sound like a turd.
Thanks, Donnie.
That's an inside joke. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie.
Okay. Tommy Emmanuel is our guest. Tommy grew up in Australia, and you were, of course, as we found out earlier, part of the, what was it, the Singing Midgets? What was it called?
The Midget
Safaris, Tom.
Midget
Come on.
Safaris, sorry.
Singing Midgets. It was a little joke. There you go.
Good Lord.
The Safaris, of course, Wipeout.
Wipeout, yes. That's right, yeah.
That was the test when I was in junior high school.
Oh, yeah.
If every drummer, you'd walk up, if a guy said he was a drummer, can you play Wipeout?
Can you play Wipeout with your pencils?
Yeah. I used to do it on the guitar, and my brother would play the side, go. And my brother would go.
Yeah.
I see he's no longer with you.
I beat him to death with his own guitar. Yes. Oh, he's doing great.
That's cool.
Tommy Emmanuel's on tour right now. We've got links to all the tour dates if you go to bobandtom.com. Tommy has a new project out. Center Stage, you want to talk about the nature of this? How many this is just one night recording, or
yeah, we filmed and recorded 3 nights, but that's mostly the third night.
Where were you?
In Chico, California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the Sierra Nevada Brewery up here. Room service. Send me up a room.
We're on the
Bob and Tom Show.
Hi, fellas.
Hi, Floyd.
Boy, this is a real treat today.
Is it?
I've enjoyed it. When are we going to do this date in history again?
What are you talking about?
Well, no, do you do that feature at this time?
Well, we did it yesterday.
We did it yesterday. We almost never do
it
that.
every day.
We did it yesterday just for. We have a great guest in the studio, Floyd. Why would we want to interrupt him?
Well, he's got a lot of songs, I bet, don't you?
Yes, he does.
He knows thousands of songs. As a matter.
Can you do the Legend of Willie Swamp?
The Legend of who?
Woolly Swamp.
Well,
Just
no,
go back into Willie Swamp, son. You better not go out now.
No, I don't think he knows that
Floyd,
one.
we're not doing
He
requests.
doesn't know that one.
I knew it. He ain't no count.
Thanks, Floyd.
A man just voted the best acoustic guitar player in the world. Our last 2 callers have insulted him.
Sorry.
Now, you played solo.
Yeah, solo, you couldn't hear me. Thank you. All right.
All right, turn it up.
Do you ever hook up with your brother and play in a band anymore? Or?
We haven't done it for years. No,
Is that right?
But next year, as of next July, I think it is, it'll be officially 50 years of playing. So
Wow.
we're not sure what we want to do.
So we're talking about a reunion with the Midget Safaris?
I would. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? I want a T-shirt.
Look, the huge midgets.
The crowd would go mild, I'm telling you. No thanks. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm trying to write new songs and trying to work on what I'm doing, just trying to get better every day at what I'm doing. And I've got this new album, I've got a new DVD coming, I've got another instructional DVD coming, and there's a new book, which is all the transcriptions from my last album, The Mystery. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
We've got a link to your website. Tommy Emmanuel is our guest. Once again,
do I understand that you're all self-taught? Is that correct?
I am, yes. I've begged, stolen, and borrowed just about everything I know. See, when I was a kid, I was exposed to Chet Atkins, Merle Travis, Hank Williams, and people like that when I was a little boy, Marty Robbins. And, of course, Marty Robbins had a great guitar player named Grady Martin on there. And we just sat around stealing as much as we possibly could. You know? And eventually it was my dream that I would meet Chet one day. And so in 1980, I made the pilgrimage to Nashville, and I met him for the first time, and we played together, and we became instant friends.
Wow.
We became like family, you know. And you know, I've been writing songs since I was a kid. I discovered that I had some kind of talent in writing, and I just took as many ideas as I could from great writers. You know, I tried to examine what made that music so good, and why did I feel something wonderful when I heard this note against that chord. You could look at it like that, you know. So when I write music for the guitar, I try not to think like a guitar player. I try to think like I'm writing a song for somebody to sing. You know, I mean, you wouldn't have known by the last piece I played.
Can you do one of your compositions real quick?
Absolutely. Here's a little bit of a song. Oh, actually, let me just give you a little bit. This is a piece I wrote after reading the journals of Lewis and Clark.
Okay.
So I'll just play a little bit of this.
One of Tom's favorite books.
I'm a big fan.
This is a verse and a chorus of my song Lewis and Clark.
All right. Very nice. Wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You ever done any movie soundtracks?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
You know, I just never had the chance.
Well, I think you'd be great at it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's the guitar playing of Tommy Emmanuel, one of his tunes, based on your reading of Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. It was a beautiful challenge because I was so inspired by their story, and Sacagawea's story as well.
They ate their dog, didn't they?
No, they didn't eat the big dog.
No. Okay.
They did not eat the Newfoundland.
All right.
They ate some of the other dogs.
Okay.
When they got they were.
Newfie in the news
Yep.
today.
Who knew they were Korean? I had no idea.
Do you remember? I read that book. Do you remember the part? It was my they would, when they would go on this expedition, they would plant themselves somewhere, and then they'd go on these trips for days at a time. And in one of the entries, my favorite one, remember the one where they're paddling back furiously because they'd buried their tobacco back at the. Remember that? And they couldn't wait to get back to the tobacco. So they were in a big hurry. Oh, wait a minute.
Pardon me again. I'll get that. Bob and Tom Show.
Hey guys, Larry King.
Oh, hi, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Hi.
Listen.
How do you get this guy? You know, I mean, he's the diminutive one from the sitcom Webster. Emmanuel Lewis is in the studio.
No.
Tommy Emmanuel.
Tommy Emmanuel is one of the world's greatest guitar players, and he was in a band called the Midget Safaris. No, he's not a midget. He was.
Larry.
Sorry, Larry.
Later.
Adios.
He's confused by
Larry the King guy.
Old man.
We're gonna take a break. Can you stick around for one more break?
Thank you so much.
All right.
Can you stick around for?
Absolutely.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. Tommy Emmanuel, guitarist, is our guest. We've got a link to his website, and his new album's called Center Stage, and recorded live. And we will also let you know that he's on the road, and among his stops, he'll be at the Music Mill this evening, and then Louisville, Kentucky at the Brown coming up tomorrow night. Be right back. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, it's Doug. Join me for the 5 o'clock funnies. We do it.
Your brother, wasn't it?
He comes for the love.
Yeah.
We
Whatever.
haven't known him long enough to be doing that.
I guess it wasn't his brother.
I guess not.
Oh, my brother My brother taught me a lot. My brother's older than me, so his ear was much more advanced than mine earlier on, and so. But he was very, very. He was a loving and kind person to me all our growing up years, and he would work things out off records, and then he would say to me, "Okay, this is how it goes."
So he had
and
the
he'd
good
show
ear.
it.
Okay.
He'd show it to me, and then he'd say, "And now you figure out the chords, and we'll play it." So,
Sure.
you know, I used to figure out how the song structure was and the chord how the chords
he'd
went.
have the lead all
and
worked
he'd have
out.
the lead all worked out. And that's how we worked as a team.
That's wild.
Yeah. You can do that with your brother.
Who were your favorite guitarists when you were a teenager?
When I was a teenager?
Probably post-Beatles, I'm guessing.
Well, in those days, I discovered Jerry Reed, and I was listening to.
Have we got a surprise for you?
Oh yeah!
Oh boy!
Uh-oh.
Now you're actually going to be glad you came.
I am glad I came.
You love Jerry Reed, you say? Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Didn't
Come
he do
on,
the
talk
Legend
it up.
of Woolly Swamp?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Who was
That
that?
was Leonard Skinner,
No, that
No.
was Charlie Daniels, wasn't it?
Was it?
Legend of Woolly Swamp?
probably.
I don't know.
Am I actually having this conversation?
No, you're not. I'll find
Okay, I want to play
the
something for.
hell?
Oh, do you have it?
I want to. Yeah. I
Lloyd
got it.
would know.
Hey, I saw on your website you have a CD, Classical Gas.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you have a version. Oh,
Do you
I
like
love,
that?
I love that.
Oh, this is going to play a little bit. For you?
yes, can
All right,
you?
okay.
By way of background, Classical Gas was a huge hit.
For Mason Williams.
Written by a guy who was the head writer for, of all things, he was the head comedy writer for the Smothers Brothers TV show.
That's right.
And this became this unbelievably smash hit. But this,
Something like that.
Wow. It is just like that. Yeah.
There's an odd sensation I have when you do certain things. I laugh because they're not funny. It's like, oh my God.
How did he do that?
That's just ridiculously impossible. That's amazing. And one of the things I like about your stuff is that you have the ability. Obviously, your technique is world class, but you don't over. You know what I mean? You the melody's always still there. You have the soulful aspect of the music. Some of the guys, especially the electric guys. That can play anything and they can play super fast. It's kind
They
of
forget the melody.
It's sort of soul free, if you know what I mean.
Well, I have to trace that right back to what I listened to when I was a kid. The Ventures, The Shadows, and Chet Atkins. They were people who, when you heard a song, first of all, you knew exactly who it was, and secondly, you always heard the melody.
Sure.
Of course, they could improvise, they could take solos and do all that, but you always got the melody, and that's the important thing, you know. And that's my bread and butter is melody.
Sure.
You know? It's all about the melody and the groove and the feeling of the music. That's all that matters. All the other stuff is just scenery. It's what when I play, what it does to you is all that matters to me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Tommy Emmanuel is our guest, and Tommy has a new project out. You can hear the properly electrified version of his acoustic guitar. That sounds different on your CDs.
Because there's another microphone inside this guitar. There are two mics inside this guitar. So we used a special mic from inside the guitar. We mic'd the PA system. We mic'd the room as well. So the sound of the guitar is very, very different sources. You know.
So what you're hearing now on the radio, I'm just trying to say, it's just a taste, if you will.
Oh, there it is. Hello, Mum.
Boy, you are popular, Tommy.
Bob and Tom Show.
There we
Gordy?
Hey, Bob and Tom.
Yeah.
Gordon Lightfoot, Tommy.
Hey, Gordy.
Hey, listen, Gordo, we have a guy who many consider to be the world's greatest acoustic guitar player. Tommy Emmanuel is actually in the studio with us.
Well, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is, actually.
I don't know if I'd put him up there with Tommy Smothers.
Well, Smothers is okay, but...
Good.
Yeah.
Can this guy play a yo-yo? Huh?
No.
No, I was mentioning the Smothers Brothers because Mason Williams was the head writer for that show when he did the song Classical Gas. That was the connection.
Classical. Well, that was a pretty good song, but
not as good as
something like, let's say, for instance,
If You Could Read My Mind.
Record of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, the legend lives on from the Chippewa.
I couldn't help but notice that Tommy there, he's got a lot in common with that Mason Williams.
How's that?
No words.
Well, he was playing a Mason Williams song.
I heard a big tribute there to Lewis and Clark. Hey, Tommy, I think what you got there is about a half a song.
Why do you say that?
All music, no words.
Oh, really?
Got to have the words,
Yeah, kind of hard to really, tell the story of Lewis and Clark with just a bunch of guitar picking. I mean, it sounded real pretty.
So that was probably the one thing that held back Beethoven, wasn't it?
I'm telling you, he wouldn't have had a hit today. I mean, the only reason they didn't have any words.
No words.
There's no microphone.
Beethoven, what a hack.
Yeah, he probably might have wrote some really lame lyrics, and then people would have thought he was an idiot. But I'm telling Tommy, we could get together. I could probably help you out with your little...
Do you have a song idea, maybe?
Some words?
It needs words, like something like this. The legend lives on of Lewis and Clark and the way that they explored America. Right.
America.
You put some stuff in there. Lewis and Clark had a dog that would bark, so they cooked him up and they ate him.
They didn't eat the newfie, no.
See, it's got drama in it.
That's a lot of drama.
I mean, all that, that boogie-woogie stuff, and that's real nice for the kids today, but you got to educate them and tell them a story like about a boat sinking.
Well, thanks, Gordo. We appreciate the lesson.
All right, well, next time, if there's any kind of a boat wreck or maybe somebody explores a country, something like that, maybe we could get together and work on it, and I don't know if you're free, I got some pretty big gigs coming up.
Oh, yeah, like where?
Play guitar on.
Where are you playing?
I'm playing the Beef and Brew.
Down
the street. I got 2 shows there on Sunday. And then 3 on Monday.
All right. Sounds like you're doing great, Gordo.
Oh, I'm doing real fine, Bob.
Good talking with you.
I don't want to brag, but I just got a 3-bedroom.
Thanks, Gordy.
Wow.
Woo!
Thanks, Gordy. That's nice. I reckon
that was the introduction.
Now, to get back to Ridiculousville, you mentioned Jerry Reed.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is our good friend Tim Wilson, and Tim is a
Southerner
and a very fine performer, singer-songwriter. And I want you to just listen to this, Tommy.
This has words.
I think you'll enjoy this. Yes, this has the word thing again. We keep bringing it up. Here we go.
I married a woman that talked like Jerry Reed. God just didn't bless her with the vocal cords she needs. She looks like Cindy Crawford, but that ain't the way she sounds. When we make love, I keep hearing eastbound and down. I work 60 hours a week and I bring home my check, and she says, son, you got to take me out somewhere and throw some groceries down my neck. So I took her to a fancy restaurant. She looked down her nose and said, now why don't we stop at a Choke and Puke for some grilled cheese sandwiches? I married a woman that talked like Jerry Reed. Ought to be on the cover of Playboy, cause that body's guaranteed. She talks just like that guitar man that crawled out of a swamp. That Louisiana law won't save you, son, when I knock you in the head with a stump. She thinks my name is Amos when she ain't calling me son. Amos, son, I'm under stress. Let's go somewhere that's fun. So I flew her to Europe and I spent $10,000. She told me I'd have had more fun thumbing a ride on an overloaded poultry truck.
Little Timmy Wilson.
Brilliant.
Married a woman that talked like Jerry Reed. Jerry, of course, a very fine guitar player.
Indeed.
And we're going to take a short break. Come right back. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, it's the Big Rig.
No, I thought we would do something special right here because we happen to have one of the world's greatest guitarists in the studio.
That's right.
So I thought we would put him to work here. We're going to do
a little background music.
What's the?
Go to mypc.com.
Can you play something? Is this something? What would be computer music?
Okay,
something that sounds like it'd be good for a computer commercial.
Oh, okay.
That would be more of Chick's life story.
The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, we want something about
Perhaps something you do something you like.
something pleasant.
With the current gas prices, think about how much you're spending just driving. Are you tired of driving to work every day?
Yes.
Quit your job.
It really adds up. Right now's the perfect time to try Go to My PC. Working from home just one day a week will cut down your gas bill by 20%. Yeah. With Go to My PC, you can take your office with you wherever you go. Simply log on to gotomypc.com and your office desktop instantly appears. Your programs, your files, your emails, anything you can do at your office PC, you can do from your home with Go to My PC. We want you to try Go to My PC free today. We have an exclusive 45-day free trial just for our listeners. This offer is only available if you use the promo code Bob and Tom. Visit gotomypc.com, click on the orange Try It Free button. Remember, use the promo code Bob and Tom. Go to mypc.com.
Wow.
He tried to end it 3 times, you know.
Go to My PC.
Sorry.
God, is that great. Tommy Emmanuel sitting in on the guitar.
Very good.
Yes, he is.
Things like traffic music, traffic music is easy. You just go.
Oh, yeah.
And you immediately, everyone's in a hurry.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And where the music is, it's like, don't
Sunshine.
worry, the weather's going to be all right.
You don't know if it's going to rain or be sunny. Sure.
And then the news.
Oh.
Yeah.
Death.
Death.
Destruction.
Taxes. Higher prices.
Tommy Emmanuel's hanging out with us, and we were talking off the air about I discovered Tommy's work on the on YouTube on the internet.
Sure.
And it's just every day with the internet you find out there's all these people you go, well, I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
And I watched for like 30 seconds and went, wow.
Yeah, how come I haven't heard of it?
It is, boy, I really know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But the internet's kind of a cool thing for you. But we were talking off the air, and you're not a computer guy.
Not really, no. My computer, you feed the mice some cheese, and they get rolling in the wheel and powers it up.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
what I'm like.
But it has been spreading the word about you. We have a link. If you go to bobandtom.com, we've got a link showing one of your. And there are lots and lots of videos posted. You don't even know who puts them up. You were saying.
I have no idea.
Well, it's guitar fans that are putting them up.
Oh, okay.
That are enjoying your music.
Yeah.
Do you ever do you read music?
No, I don't. So if you put music in front of me, I get very quiet. I can use I can hear something and hear what key it's in and
Sure.
kind of visualize how to play it before I even get to the guitar. But
sight reading, no.
Sight reading, no. And I tried to have lessons when I was about 20. I thought I should learn to read music. I should do this, And so I went to this guy and I said, I want you to teach me to read music. And he said, well, play me something. And I played him a couple of songs and he just laughed and he said, get the hell out of here. You don't need to read music.
You don't need to
and
read
I said,
it.
but you don't understand. Okay, I can play, but I want to learn how to read. And the guy said, you're never going to use it. Just go on your way.
Just go out and play.
Yeah. So I did, But, I had experience reading charts, as in, following the chords, following the bars, following the signs and all that stuff.
Sure.
I can do all that, but I can't actually read
the notes.
Yeah. I hire other people to do that for me, write my books, and then, we go through the process of double-checking everything and all that, So... Good luck, all those people out there. But people say to me, do you read tablature? And I say, my life is too short. There's not enough time left for me to read tablature. But a lot of people do it, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
What's that? I don't know.
That shows you exactly where to put the finger on the string, on the fretboard.
Okay.
And he goes, your fingers are moving too quick.
Yeah.
Well,
can you?
You can use your ears,
Can I make a request?
Oh, okay.
A technical request.
I only play requests when people ask.
Could you play something that doesn't involve a lot of flying fingers, but it has a great feel? Do you have something a little bit slower that you like?
How about this?
Yes, sir. Tommy Emmanuel on the guitar. I was trying to think the last. What were the most recent instrumental hits? I guess.
Joe Satriani's "Always with Me, Always with You."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe was here.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Joe flies.
Love Joe.
He flies. I'll tell you.
Johnny Aso is pretty popular.
He's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was the one? White Cliffs of Dover.
Oh, that was Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson
from
that was
Texas.
a big one. And then what's the one with
Focus by Pocus?
Yeah, Hocus Pocus
by
Pocus.
Focus.
What about
Jan Ackerman?
What about popcorn?
Dun, 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 dun. Moog plays the Beatles. I bought that album. Moog plays the Beatles.
Oh.
Yeah, and you hear all this fake ocean, and then ding, 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 all that stuff. It was really funny. I'm sure they enjoyed the royalties. But
Oh,
anyway.
I'm sure they did. Uh-huh.
Thomas Moog plays Paul McCartney.
Was that the guy that became a woman?
What?
Who?
He got the Nobel Prize.
Synthesizer guy?
The switched on Bach guy? Didn't he become a she?
The switched on black guy, maybe, not the Moog guy.
Okay, sorry. I thought that
That's
guy,
very
I think
possible.
seriously, I think he did.
Yeah.
Not sure how
He
he got
became Michelle.
I'm serious. I think
Michelle, you smell. Thank you very much.
Michelle, what a... Whoa.
Well, we I want to say thanks to Tommy. It's just been a great treat to
Thanks
have
for
you come
having
in. Once again on tour, and a couple other spots this week include a Wednesday evening show at the Brown Theater in Louisville and Charlottesville, Virginia on the 6th of June. The whole schedule is posted. If you go to bobandtom.com, you can find out more about Tommy and his work on the acoustic guitar. And we certainly enjoyed it. Wow,
Thanks for having me.
What a treat for us.
I appreciate it.
Indeed.
Thank you very much. And, thanks. I'd like to thank my mother for having me as well. Thank you,
Yes.
Mom.
We want to thank her also.
Yeah.
Very, very
Thanks
nice.
to Dad, too.
Thanks, Dad. Yep.
He was in there somewhere,
He was.
at least for a while.
Well, enjoy your travels. Ignore my partner over here.
That was a little too much.
Yeah, a little bit.
Do records spin backwards in Australia? I don't know.
Can we go
Well,
back?
if you play a country,
30 seconds.
you play a country record backwards, the dog comes back.
Okay.
Comes back.
Thank you very much, Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy, so much.
Wow, that's cool. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
As if that wasn't enough, the Bob and Tom Show continues in just a few minutes right here on Q95.
Online.